Do you remember that one?
That one down in Pamula. Yeah, that was one of the close ones, eh? Shit. I remember that monkey jumped out of that avo tree. It was a big old avo tree that was breaking down from the top. And he jumped down and ran across that yard and then back into the other yard and grabbed him by the tail just as he went over the fence. Shit. He decided to come straight back. He wasn't going anywhere. After that tail got grabbed, he was unhappy. But I often think about it, that I think about being a little bit shorter and a little bit more...
a little bit fatter.
He would have got, because as I got him by the tail, he went across, he came back under the branch at me.
I know. I was standing
back
watching. I thought, and when I saw him, he was like inches away from your stomach. And he was biting, and I actually had the shirt, and I thought, shit, he's biting
That was still that nice
stomach.
old white falcon.
Yes.
It was a falcon t-shirt.
Well, I thought he was going to disembowel you. I must be very honest,
Well,
it was like
he got
horror.
me right here. And I held his tail because I was pulling him this way because he'd gone over the branch and come back and grabbed me like that with his hands.
Jesus.
And I tell you, it's when you think of those kind of close calls that you realize that it's no fun, and catching a monkey by the tail is not a good idea. It's like an altar, you got a tiger by the tail, you never let him go. He's going to eat you. But that flippin' t-shirt was such a nice t-shirt.
It was, until
Like,
he put a few holes.
He ate that piece of t-shirt away.
I remember.
Yeah.
You should have kept it and maybe raffled it.
Absolutely. Shit. You know how many times that's happened? Often, shit, you remember that time? That incident, that time. And then, and there was another one.
I know.
Many
that was
like
a bad one though, sure.
I think a lot of those things, not really think that. A lot of times it's just luck that we haven't been bitten many more times by monkeys. I think back on it, just like a little millimeter direction change, or if you just come back over the top of that branch. Huh?
A little bit more fat.
A little bit more fat. That's why you see I keep my tummy pretty chum.
Yeah.
Such is life, eh? Shit, we've had a lot of those.
Good memories.
Let's actually sit down one day and just record them. Just talk about it. It's like we talk now, and you recall those things happening. Like Velbedach, that beautiful monkey. Remember those people who called us out there? They were so poor.
I remember.
And how happy they were. We went on the way. We went and we bought them a whole lot of food. Remember?
I remember. We came back and when we were there, they were offering us their food, and they had this tiny little pot.
How's that? That little bit of food they had, and they asked us to come in and share.
And they were asking us to share with them.
But how's the coincidence when we went to the hospital, St. George's or St. Anne's?
Yes.
For my eye. And that guy sitting next to me in those early morning queues, we were sitting hours and wait.
I remember.
And he looks at me and he says, "Oh, I know you." And I look
remember.
at him, I think, who's this dude? He's probably trying to scam for a cigarette or something. And it was Chin and that old guy.
Such a nice
what a
little
lovely
family, yeah.
And their little dogs, we got sterilized for them.
I remember. They were so thrilled when we came back, and the back of the car was full of groceries.
Yeah. And then we had to stay. They wanted us to stay, and they wanted to open somewhere.
Share with us.
Share with us. Shame.
I remember, donations are always such an issue, and I remember them going inside and taking out that little jar that had that 10 rand note.
Oh, that was that other guy when that little baby monkey was underneath that car. That
what was it? What did he have that money
like
in?
Little, like you get those ceramic with oriental design on those ginger, sweet ginger, cooked ginger, yeah. And he came out. Well, you know what? The part about that, other than the 10 rand that I still remember so clearly, that fascinated me was the cleanliness of that shirt he had on. I mean, here these people live in little houses. They don't even have running water or electricity hardly, and they keep those shirts. Apparently, they whatever they wear that's white, but buttoned right up to the top, collar shirt without a tie, and sleeves at full length, not rolled up, and the edges of those sleeves that were scuffed like that, and the edges of the collar that were sort of scuffed away, but so clean, almost eye-shockingly white. You can't imagine how anything that's white can get whiter than white. But apparently they boil them to get them clean. They boil it in boiling water with bleach or something in it. And then he comes out there and he says, no, he's got to give us something. We said, no, I mean, you can see they are so poor, these people. Opens that little ginger jar and shakes it so that whatever's in there comes. There's that folded 10 rand note.
I remember it was
folded up
tiny.
into like a little 2 centimeter square.
Yes, tiny.
Yeah.
And I said to him, no, thank you very much. You don't have to give any money, and we don't do this for money, and you don't need to give us anything. It's free. No, he just insisted. He said, please, take this, please. And I kept saying, no. And then I didn't want to offend him. And he was insistent that we.
No, but that's when you said to him, look, we appreciate it, and the generosity is awesome, but we've actually had a really good donation given to our organization. We don't need any money. We've got enough money. You need that far more than we do.
Yeah.
And you pushed it back into the jar and put your hand on top of it and said to him, please, we'd love you to keep that.
So.
Yeah.
We've met some good people on our rescues, and we've met some really mean people.
Some shitholes. Maybe we should tell about some of them.
Next time we'll talk about some of the nasties.
The nasties.
Thanks for the story, Steve. You can finish your coffee.
Yeah.